Hello, my name is Sandro Sebastian. I'm the head of the publishing company Boys Bleed. We handle fiction titles that have a fantasy adventure flavor to them with young adult themes, but with a more mature and sophisticated grammar and sentence structure. I've done my best to steer us away from comic book speech bubble dialogue. And though my books do have illustrations in them, they are classically trained and inspired. I try to give them a more intellectual weight to them than the snazzy, rubbery, spandex-wearing muscular men that dominate the pop culture scene currently. People don't give young men enough credit. They're not going to be teenage boys forever. Let's get them ready and take a look at what's going on in my world this week. So what's on your nightstand, Sandro Sebastian? A book that you have to finish? A book that you might finish? Or a book that you keep in the rotation because you like the way it rubs off on you? This video features a book in the third category, another passage from Victor Hugo's Les Misérables. Just a quick plot description. A reformed convict who has a great deal of money stashed away, a man presently presumed dead by the authorities, finally tracks down an orphan girl, Cosette, whom he promised to adopt and care for when the child's mother passed away, soon after the child's birth 8 years ago. The child now lives with an abusive foster family and 2 sisters that exclude her. Cosette does not know who the reformed convict is. It's remarkable how an author can describe the dramatic stakes of a story without dialogue or direct exposition. For his part, the traveler had put his staff and bundle in a corner. The host gone, he sat down in an armchair and remained some time thinking. Then he drew off his shoes, took one of the 2 candles, blew out the other, pushed open the door, and went out of the room, looking about him as if he were searching for something. He passed through a hall and came to the stairway. There he heard a very soft little sound which resembled the breathing of a child. Guided by this sound, he came to a sort of triangular nook built under the stairs, or rather, formed by the staircase itself. This hole was nothing but the space between the stairs. There, among all sorts of old baskets and old rubbish, in the dust and among the cobwebs, there was a bed, if a mattress so full of holes as to show the straw, and a covering so full of holes as to show the mattress, can be called a bed. There were no sheets. This was placed on the floor immediately on the tiles. In this bed Cosette was sleeping. The man approached and looked at her. Cosette was sleeping soundly. She was dressed. In the winter she did not undress on account of the cold. She held the doll clasped in her arms. Its large open eyes shone in the obscurity. From time to time she heaved a deep sigh, as if she were about to wake, and she hugged the doll almost convulsively. There was only one of her wooden shoes at the side of her bed. An open door near Cosette's nook disclosed a large dark room. The stranger entered. At the farther end, through a glass window, he perceived 2 little beds with very white spreads. They were those of Anselma and Eponine. Half hid behind these beds was a willow cradle, without curtains, in which the little boy who had cried all the evening was sleeping. The stranger conjectured that this room communicated with that of the Thénardiers. He was about to withdraw when his eye fell upon the fireplace, one of those huge tavern fireplaces where there is always so little fire, when there is a fire, which are so cold to look upon. In this one there was no fire. There were not even any ashes. What there was, however, attracted the traveler's attention. It was 2 little children's shoes, of coquettish shape and of different sizes. The traveler remembered the graceful and immemorial custom of children putting their shoes in the fireplace on Christmas night, to wait there in the darkness in the expectation of some shining gift from their good fairy. Eponine and Anselma had taken good care not to forget this, and each had put one of her shoes in the fireplace. The fairy, that is to say, the mother, had already made her visit, and shining in each shoe was a beautiful new 10-sou piece. The man rose up and was on the point of going away, when he perceived further along by itself, in the darkest corner of the fireplace, another object. He looked, and recognized a shoe, a horrid wooden shoe of the clumsiest sort, half broken and covered with ashes and dried mud. It was Cosette's shoe. Cosette, with that touching confidence of childhood, which can always be deceived without ever being discouraged, had also placed her shoe in the fireplace. What a sublime and sweet thing is hope in a child who has never known anything but despair. There was nothing in this wooden shoe. The stranger fumbled in his waistcoat, bent over, and dropped into Cossette's shoe a gold louis. Then he went back to his room with stealthy tread. All of the Boys Bleed Publishing titles are available on Amazon, searchable under the name Sandro Sebastian or by title. And for a full list of them, you can visit my personal website, www.theardmonk.com.